and Buchanan. Girls studied by firelight, dreaming of classrooms they were told were not theirs. Education became the quiet battlefield of Liberia's real freedom struggle. As Liberia expanded its control inland, roads had to be built to connect the interior to the capital. But these roads were paved with pain. Thousands of young indigenous men were rounded up and forced into labor, carrying tools, clearing forest, and breaking stone with bare hands. They slept in tents, ate scraps, and worked in rain or heat. Many died or returned broken. These men were not criminals. They were farmers, hunters, sons, and brothers. But because they lacked education, they had no protection. Only those in school were exempt. But schools were scarce. Most indigenous villages had none. This made education more than just a privilege. It became a shield, a way to escape suffering. Yet it remained out of reach for most. So, while others studied in Monrovia's classrooms, their peers built the very roads they would one day drive on. Despite the chains of exclusion, resistance brewed. Elders demanded schools. Chiefs pushed for justice. In 1944, a wind of change came with President William V.S. Tubman. Though he too was Americo-Liberian, he saw that a house divided could not stand. Tubman launched the unification policy, a bold attempt to bridge the gap between settlers and natives. Roads were built to the interior. Chiefs were given recognition. Rural schools began to open, and scholarships slowly became available for tribal students. But it was not until 1964, 117 years after independence, that native Liberians were finally granted universal suffrage, the right to vote and be voted for. Until 1964, that Liberia could truly claim to be a democracy for all its people. Tubman expanded suffrage to include all adult citizens regardless of tribe or property. That year, in Nimba County, a 55-year-old woman named Kula, who had never been counted in any census or government decision, walked barefoot to a polling station. She had never voted, never seen a ballot. Yet her fingerprint marked a turning point in the nation's history. In Grand Geda, young men who had once feared soldiers now campaigned openly. For the first time, political candidates visited interior towns and spoke in tribal dialects. Women danced around ballot boxes in celebration. That same year, Liberia welcomed its first indigenous representatives into the national legislature. Among the pioneers were Chief Tamba Taylor, a respected traditional leader from Lofa County, Madam Ellen Sandimani, a voice for women from Gbafla County, Chief Blamo Nelson, a strong advocate for native inclusion. This moment also recognized the contributions of earlier indigenous leaders such as Paramount Chief Flomo Togba, Chief Gbafla. Though not always in official positions, they had long served as mediators between the tribal interior and the settler elite, paving the way for political representation. These trailblazers stood not only as lawmakers but as cultural bridges, bringing the voices of the forest, the village, and the ancestral drums into Liberia's legislative halls. The moment was quiet in international circles, but it thundered in the heart of every indigenous man and woman. 64. Under Tubman's presidency, marks Liberia's true independence, the birth of inclusion. For the first time, the Gola boy in Grand Cape Mount could dream of becoming a lawmaker. The Lorma girl from Zorzor could one